home Pilates studio. I'm Julianne, and I'm a certified Pilates instructor at Sony Pictures Studio in Los Angeles. So if you're an existing client of mine and now you just want to work out with me at home, well, welcome. I'm so excited to be able to torture you at home as well. And if you're new to my channel, welcome to my very first YouTube video on a reformer. So I've been teaching Pilates for 13 years, and my approach is pretty athletic. I am trained classically through Balanced Body. However, I also like to implement a lot of athletic performance work into my Pilates sessions. So today we are going to be doing an athletic reformer session on the Balanced Body Allegro 2, and I'm so excited to show you my approach. Welcome. Most of the moves we're going to be doing are for 45 seconds, and I'll talk you through everything as we go. I hope you enjoy it and get ready to sweat.
Hi. Okay, let's start on one blue spring and an elephant stretch. Stand up on your reformer with your feet at about hip distance and against the shoulder blocks. Your heels are down, the toes are up. Push firmly into both hands so that you stay active in the upper body, and tuck your chin to your chest, feeling that stretch in your cervical spine as you keep your gaze in between the inner thighs. Exhale as you push it out. Feel that deep stretch in your hamstrings and calves. And then inhale, flex the lumbar spine by tilting your tailbone underneath you, drawing the lower abdominals in and up, and feeling the decompression in the low back. Exhale as you push out. Inhale, pull back in. Now lift the heels up and push out to a plank position. As you plank, look past your hands on the floor. As you pike, curl into the abs and look into the inner thighs so that we work into the natural curvature of your spine. Inhale, plank. Exhale, pike. Breathing through this deep core work here. And we're pushing firmly into the hands, staying active and lifted in the upper back while stabilizing the upper body. Plank and pike. Control the movement with your breathing. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Squeezing every muscle in your core as you lift the hips. Now bend the knees in on the inhale. Exhale, push the legs out. Stay strong in your plank. And each time the knees pull underneath you, think about drawing your navel a little deeper into the spine. Keep the shoulders down. Keep the upper back lifted and engaged. Squeeze into the inner thighs. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. The neck is long. Eyes still focused about 4 to 5 inches in front of the foot bar and down. Keep those heels up. Stay with it. Don't give up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. Your glutes are tight. Your core is tight. And you're breathing through the stretch. Drop it to your knees. Take your left foot onto the foot bar. Ball of the foot is on. Tee the arms out like airplane wings. Push out. Then bring your hands back on the foot bar and take a single leg stretch, forehead to the knee. So you balance and push out with the left leg. Then your hands come to the foot bar and you pull with your hands, push with your foot, forehead to the knee. We're alternating between these two movements. As you're in the balance and pushing out, make sure to keep your eyes focused at one stationary point in front of you. And as we go into that deep single leg stretch, the goal is to get the front leg fully extended. And once you get the front leg fully extended, then you can work toward a split. Other side. Let right foot on the foot bar, ball of the foot is on. Balance and breathe, then grab the foot bar and take that single leg forehead to knee stretch. Exhale, push out, reach the fingertips long beside you, push the carriage out, grab the foot bar, straighten the right leg, forehead to the knee. And remember, once that front leg gets fully straight and extended, then you can also push into the back leg. Pull with the hands, push with your foot, creating that oppositional stretch across your upper back. Exhale as you go out. Inhale in, grab the foot bar, pull with the hands, push with your foot, decompressing your neck. Beautiful job. Now add a red spring to join the blue for double flat back knee stretch. Hands are on. spine is long, booty goes back to the heels. Feet are against the shoulder blocks. Exhale, push the knees out and the carriage moves away from the foot bar. Inhale, pull the carriage in, lengthening the low back toward the heels, feeling that deep stretch in your sacrum. Exhale out. Inhale in. Try to go at my pace. The whole upper body is stable. We're strengthening our hip flexors. We're strengthening our glutes and really stretching and strengthening the low back here. Exhale out. Inhale in, your core is tight, the chest is open, and the lats stay engaged the whole time. Now round back, tilt the tailbone underneath you, contract your core each time the knees draw underneath you. Feel your inner thighs engage, lift up to the pelvic floor, and try to flex that lumbar spine, tilting the tailbone underneath you, but still keeping the chest a little open and the shoulders down, while the upper body is stable and strong by keeping the arms straight and pushing firmly into the foot bar the whole time. It's a really deep core activation, so you should feel like a little reverse abdominal crunch here as the knees pull in. Inhale out, exhale in, stay with it, don't give up. You got this. Push and pull. Good work. We're going to turn around and go into a little booty strengthening. So hands onto the shoulder blocks or beside them, 2 straight arms, and make sure that the left knee is directly under the left hip at a 90-degree angle and the ball of the right foot is on the foot bar. Stabilize your whole body. Push the right leg out, moving the carriage out and fully extending the right leg so that we're engaging our hamstrings and our glutes. Each time you push out and feel your glutes engage, feel them lift up to the low back. And then resist and slow, making sure that that right knee points straight down to the mat and that we're in perfect alignment for our joints. Exhale, push it out. Inhale, pull it in and switch. Now the ball of the left foot goes onto the foot bar and the right knee is directly under that right hip at a 90-degree angle. Stable up in the upper body. Neck stays long, core stays tight, and get that full leg extension with the left leg, trying to push that left heel back to fully stretch the calf as we activate your hamstrings and glutes. Exhale, reach. Inhale, resist. Breathing through the work. And remember, try not to let those shoulders lift the ears. Try to focus on just that glute work here and the stability in that right side. Awesome job. Setting up for a little side leg footwork. Your right foot will go onto the foot bar with your toes and heels connected. The left forearm is down in front of the shoulder blocks. Your left leg is extended underneath the foot bar with pointed toes. We're stacked in the shoulders, stacked in the hips, and make sure that your toes and your knees point straight out the whole time. Stay engaged in your external obliques so that you're not sinking in the waist and the side body is lifted up off the mat. Make sure you're not sinking in the left shoulder. You can take your right hand behind the head to the hip or down in front of you or even on that front shoulder block, whatever feels good for you. Now turn that top foot up to the ceiling and maintain the external rotation, balancing on the flat area of your hip. Now, if it feels uncomfortable to keep the head up, go ahead and drop your head down. Just make sure to keep those external obliques engaged the whole time. As you push out, squeeze into the inner thighs and remember to keep the bottom leg active with the toes pointed. Exhale as you go out. Inhale, come back in. Keep breathing. You guys are doing great. Stay with it. We're getting that full leg extension. In footwork, we're working the alignment of the joints as we stretch out and warm up the legs and work the inner thighs for everything else we're prepared to do today. Beautiful job. Other side. So now your right forearm is down. The left foot is on the foot bar with your toes and heels connected. Your right leg extends underneath the foot bar with pointed toes. Stay engaged in the external obliques. And remember, you can take your left hand onto the shoulder block, behind the head, to your hip, wherever it feels good on your body. Just focus on your breathing. Focus on keeping the toes and knees pointed straight out in front of you the whole time. Try not to sink in your shoulders or sink into the side body, but instead fully extend and bend slow. Now turn that left foot up to the ceiling, getting into the external rotation to strengthen your hips. As you push the left leg out, zip up the inner thighs. And remember, keep that little lift in the side of the waist. So if I were to come and slide my hand underneath your waist, there'd be a space for me to do that. Exhale, push out. Feel those inner thighs engage. Inhale, pull back in slow. Fully extending that leg and breathing with each stretch. We're strengthening the hips. We're strengthening the inner thighs here and working the alignment of the body. Strengthening the piriformis. That's the external rotator of your hip. It's all about stability, so stay strong in your core to stabilize. Let's go to pelvic lift. Heels on the foot bar, feet are parallel. Curl the hips all the way up. Push out, pull in, roll down. Then come back in, lift the right leg to tabletop, curl up. Push out, pull in, lower down. Then the left leg comes up, you push out and in. So we're alternating between the two movements. You push out with both heels on, then you roll down, then you bring one leg up and you push out and pull in and articulate the spine down slow. And then you alternate which leg lifts each time. Bring it in, fluidly roll down through the spine stretch. Exhale, tuck your pelvis, lift the hips. Inhale, push out. Exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Moving into footwork. Take your toes on the foot bar, heels together, toes apart in a V. Push the carriage out. Feel your hip bones narrow in towards each other. And as you come in, release the pelvic floor engagement and feel your sits bones widen. Push out, lengthen, zip up the inner thighs and drop the heels, lift the heels, bend in. So we get that nice calf stretch each time. Stretch in the Achilles tendon all the way into the hamstrings. Your core is tight. We're working in a neutral pelvis. So that means the spine is long, your tailbone is heavy into the mat, and there may even be a slight space between the low back and the mat. Keep reaching long through the fingertips so the shoulders are relaxed. And now parallel the feet and start to prance. Bending one knee, stretching the opposite heel deeply down underneath the foot bar, stretching out the calf, the Achilles tendon, all the way into the hamstrings. Bend and stretch while stabilizing your pelvis and hips. The goal is to get one of the heels to push a little further underneath the foot bar each time. Breathe. Keep your ribs soft and the shoulders relaxed. Now grab both straps behind you. Keep that red and blue spring still on. And we're going to go into supine arms and core work. So once you get the straps in your hands, we'll take them into a 4 fingers in thumb is out position with the knees bent at 90 degrees above the hips. Reach your arms up. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, curl up, legs out, point the toes. Lift the legs, lower the legs, and then bend the knees in, lower down, and reach your arms back up. So lift up, extend. The legs lift, they lower, and then you lower with control. As you curl up, try to get the shoulder blades all the way up off the mat. Keep a slight space between the chin and chest to protect your neck, and try to lift up a little higher each time. Now let's take those straps onto the feet and extend the legs out and in. Froggy out and in. As you push out, the straps move above the knees. As you bend in, the straps go inside the knees. Push out and feel your hip bones narrow. Bend the knees in and feel your sits bones widen. Keeping the heels super glued together the whole time so that we challenge our inner thigh strength and stability. Exhale out, inhale in. Continue reaching long through the arms. Keep the spine long. Go at your own pace. You can move fast or slow. Really, it's up to you with how fast or slow you want to move through this stretch. Sometimes I like to speed it up. Short spine, lift the hips, bend the knees, articulate the spine down one vertebrae at a time. The main thing to remember with short spine, always look up toward the ceiling so that you don't strain your neck. Never lift your head up. And always keep the heels connected. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, feet over the face. Use your abdominals. Lift the hips up. Bend the knees wide to the shoulder blocks and fluidly roll down through the spine stretch. Inhale out, zip up the inner thighs. Hinge at the hips, feet over the face. Use your abs lift. Bend the knees wide and roll down one vertebrae at a time to create that space in between the bones. As you go through this stretch, breathe and feel the upper back, mid back, low back connect to the mat. Going into leg circles, keep your toes pointed and just start to circle the legs up and out and around and back to center. Feeling your femur bone fluidly rotating throughout the hip joint so we get that deep stretch in the legs and into the hips. The classical way to do this move is to be in a neutral pelvis with limits your rotation a little bit. So if it feels better for you to stay in imprint and go bigger, then do that. Just focus on your breathing. It's all about fluidity in Pilates. So you want to keep the same controlled speed the whole time. Take it the other way. Down, around, and up. Breathing into the stretch and trying to lengthen your femur bone out of the hip joint each time. Exhale and inhale. Core is tight. And, let's just think about why we're all here today. It's definitely for feet and straps, so I wasn't going to miss this. So you're welcome. Short spine and feet and straps are my favorite for decompression and stretching the legs and hips. And if you're going to do one move every day, this is it. Breathing into it. You can go a little bit faster if you want to start to get that heart rate up. Sometimes I like to do that. And let's take the straps off of the feet and into the hands and let's go to coordination. So hover the elbows off the mat. Take a tricep press. Curl up, legs out. Open the legs, close them, lower down. Exhale, lift. Open, close, lower back down. Lifting the head, neck, and shoulders up with that tricep press and leg extension. Looking at the belly button. Keeping the wrists straight the whole time. Open, close, bend, and lower. Exhale up, inhale, open, exhale, close, inhale, lower. Beautiful work. Stay with it. Don't give up. If you have to rest at any time, feel free to take rest, but try to get right back into the work. Exhale, lift up, extend, inhale, open, exhale, close, inhale, lower. Awesome work. Drop the strap, step off to the side, adjust the weight so that you have one blue spring on. And let's grab our boxes and get into some lunges. I'm going to grab some hand weights and work the upper body while I lunge today. So feel free to grab some weights if you want. I'm using 3 pounds. So do what feels good for you. And we're going to take the box and set it up so that it's right next to the Reformer and parallel with the gray part of the Reformer. So just set up your Reformers, grab a sip of water if you need as I adjust mine, and I'll bring your right foot on the box, left heel against the shoulder block. Reach the arms out, flip the palms up, and we're going to bicep curl the arms as we lunge down and up. So inhale, lunge down low, squeeze into your biceps, and then lift up with length in the spine. We're trying to keep the spine long the whole time, and try to squeeze into your right glute, because that's going to deepen the stretch in the psoas. Inhale, get low. Exhale, lift up. Pressing evenly into all 4 corners of that left foot for stability. And remember to keep the eyes focused at one stationary point in front of you, because it's going to help you a lot with the balance. Maybe get a little deeper in that lunge each time, deepening the stretch in your hip flexor. Take it down halfway, pause, bend the back knee in, and then as you extend it out, go into tricep extensions. Stabilize the left leg, push firmly into all 4 corners of that left foot. Exhale, reach your arms and that right leg back, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your triceps, and then inhale, bend everything back to center. Reach and resist. Focus on your breathing, stay low and balance. Keep the ribs soft and the core tight and engage your lats so that we can keep the chest open and keep the tension out of our traps and then out of our neck. Exhale, reach, inhale, resist. You got this. Don't give up. Push and pull. Breathe in. Now start to pulse up and down Squeezing and releasing, bringing the carriage in about halfway, hands to prayer, pulse and squeeze. Try not to move the carriage at all as we pulse and squeeze. Now hold it and breathe. 15 seconds right here. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Hold it. Don't give up. You almost there. Got it. Breathe through it. And rest. Awesome work. Drop the weights down. Come to an all four position on your box. Add a yellow spring on. Bring your knees directly underneath your hips and your hands under the shoulders, and take your right foot against the shoulder block with your foot and knee turned out and the knee up off the carriage. Push that carriage leg out, pull it back in, working our outer thigh, glute medius, strengthening our hips and our piriformis. Just make sure your whole body is stable, and the only thing that is moving is the right leg and the carriage. So it's really important to stabilize, and you're going to notice the work that's going on in that left stabilizing glute quite a bit. If it's too heavy for you to be on a blue and a yellow spring, go ahead and drop it to one blue and modify the weight at any time if you need. Push and pull. We're strengthening our glutes. We're working our core and really every muscle in our body here. Now, take the yellow spring off, push the carriage leg out, toes down, heel is up, fully extend that carriage leg. And as you push it out, you're going to lift that left knee up off the carriage and back down. So you push out, lift up, bring it in, drop it down. Your right foot is actually still turned out with your toes and knees pointed out to the side. Push out, do a little pike, lift the left knee up, bring it in, drop it down. Push out, lift up. Hello, obliques. There you are. Now we're really getting into our core work as we continue to work and strengthen our hips and our legs. Push out, lift up, hold it, and lower back down slow. Exhale out. Now toes down, heel up, push to a plank. Take your left foot on the floor beside the reformer. Push firmly into the hands and just tap the left toes to the floor and then lift the left heel to the ceiling while holding that plank position. Try to keep the neck long and your gaze out past your fingertips. Try to lower the hips down low. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Pull the abs in deep. Still working our obliques right here. Down and up. Down and up. Slow and controlled movements with the breath. Awesome work. You got this. Just lift and lower. And really try to stabilize every muscle in your body here as you lift and lower that left leg. Now cross the left leg behind the right and go into a modified snake. Curl the hips up, look at the toes, push to a plank. As you pike up, feel every muscle throughout the abdominal wall engage. Squeeze the inner thighs to get deeper into the lower abs and to activate your pelvic floor. And as you plank, look out past your hands so that we're working into the natural curvature of your spine. If you wish to add a challenge, you can always lift that left leg up toward the ceiling as you pike the hips up and down, but that does make the movement a lot more challenging. So up to you if you want to give that a shot. Exhale, you'll curl the hips up and that left leg lifts with pointed toes, and then inhale, lower right back to that plank. Beautiful work. Rest. Awesome job. Now we're going to take the strap and sit in a mermaid style stretch with your right shin against the shoulder block, left foot against the knee, strap in both hands. I'm holding the little loop. Round your arms out in front of the body, connect both hands. Imagine you have a beach ball out in front of the chest and start to rotate your whole torso, squeezing into the obliques and lengthening the spine on each rotation. Imagine your spine is like a corkscrew. So it's spiraling up toward the ceiling with each rotation. So we're strengthening our spine. We're working our core as we stretch our hips at the same time. Take the bigger loop into the left hand. Take your right hand down behind your butt. Lift the hips up. Lean back as you go into an extension and reach the left arm up overhead, fully lengthening that right hand behind you. The goal is to lift up a little higher each time and maybe extend the spine a bit more. But of course, if you have back or neck issues, modify as you need. And if a blue spring is too heavy, move to a lighter spring for this movement. Exhale, lift up, squeeze your butt. Inhale, lower. If it's too much on your knees to sit in a mermaid style stretch, modify and just sit up high on both knees and do these same movements without sitting in that mermaid style stretch. Awesome work. Now we're going to push the box out so that it's parallel with the back side of the reformer. Your left foot goes on the foot bar. Your right hand goes onto the box. The left hand goes onto the shoulder block. Your right foot is on the floor. As you take a single arm shoulder press with the left hand, lift that right leg up and down for a more challenging plank. Keep your right arm straight and extended and just take that single arm shoulder press with the left as you lift the right leg up and lower with control. Exhale, push and lift. Inhale, bend the elbow, lower the leg back down. Breathing through it, core stays tight, and keep the back leg straight. Rest. Other side. We're going to take that box over to the other side and grab our weights. And this time we're going to do a back lunge with a shoulder press. So grab your weight, step on the box with now your right foot on the box and the left heel lifted up against the shoulder block. Bend the elbows wide, make goalposts with the arms. Take that deep back lunge, reach your arms up toward the ceiling, inhale, and then exhale, lift back up to center, engage the lats as you pull the shoulders down. Push evenly into all four corners of that right foot. Feel the deep psoas stretch on the left side, and remember to stay even across the shoulders and hips the whole time. Bring it down, bend the back knee in and out as you take tricep extensions with both arms. Chest is open, shoulders are down. Inhale, bend, exhale, lengthen. Staying low and feeling your glutes engage and lift up to the low back each time that you push that carriage leg out and back in. Inhale as you bend. Exhale as you lengthen. Feeling those triceps engage each time that you push and stay low. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lengthen. Breathing through this work. Focus on that extension of the leg and of the arms and just keep moving. Don't give up. Eyes stay focused, stay low. Now bring it in halfway and start to pulse it up and down. 2 to 3 inches up, 2 to 3 inches down, squeezing and releasing, staying low and keeping the chest lifted and trying to pull the lower abs in and up. Just pulse and breathe. Stay with it. Don't give up. Pulse and breathe. Keep it low. Hold it. 15 seconds right here. Keep squeezing your core and stabilizing the body. Don't give up. Just breathe through it. And rest. Awesome work. Coming to that all four position on the box, add the yellow spring on, hands under the shoulders, right knee directly under the right hip, left foot against the shoulder block with your foot and knee turned to the side, and the knee stays up off the carriage the whole time. Exhale, push out. Inhale, pull in. The only thing that should be moving is the carriage and that carriage leg, the left leg. Strengthening our outer thigh, our glute medius, strengthening our hips right here. Really getting into those summer glutes. And of course, we're working the whole body just to stabilize, and it's quite challenging on this heavy weight. So again, any modifications you need to make it lighter, feel free to take it. Push, pull, don't give up. I know it's starting to burn. I feel it too. I'm in this with you. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press. We're almost there. Lighten it up. Take the yellow spring off. Push the carriage leg out. Cross the right ankle behind the left and start to pike up and down. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Curling into the abdominals, feeling every muscle throughout the abs engage as you lift and lower. Up and down. Squeeze and release. Looking at the toes as you pike. Looking past your hands as you plank. And feeling every muscle throughout the abdominal wall engage as you squeeze into the inner thighs. Option to also lift that right leg up toward the ceiling to add more of a challenge. All the way up, all the way down, lift and lower. And as you lift that leg up, if you're going into the more challenging version, make sure to point the toes and rest. Good work. Next, we're going to turn around and go into our mermaid style stretch. And you're going to grab the strap in both hands and round the arms in front of the body and start to rotate all the way to the foot bar and all the way back, lengthening the spine on each rotation, working spinal mobility and oblique strength here. Make sure you're rotating your head with your torso, and we're feeling that hip stretch. Exhale. Inhale, even distance between the arms the whole time, like you're holding a beach ball in front of the chest. Now just take the strap in the right hand, 4 fingers in, thumb is out, left hand to the back side of the carriage behind you. Exhale, lift up, squeeze your butt, reach your right arm back behind you, opening the chest, working into that extension, and then lower back down with control. Reach it up, resist it down, and breathe. Exhale as you lengthen and lift. Inhale as you lower. If you need to modify with anything in this movement, go ahead and take that. Otherwise, maybe try to get deeper in the extension each time. All the way up, all the way down, feeling that burn, feeling the stretch in your hip flexors as you come up. Awesome work. Setting up for a reverse plank. So you're going to move the box toward the back a little bit and bring now the right hand to the shoulder block, right foot against the foot bar with both legs straight and extended, left hand on the box. As you take the single arm shoulder press with the right, lift the left leg up to hover in the air and then slightly touch your toes back down to the floor. Exhale, reach. Inhale, resist. Targeting our whole abdominal wall, and in planks we're really working every muscle in the body. Rest. Really good work. Come around to the front. We're going to push the infinity bar back and get into a little bit more core and upper body work. So if you have the Allegro too, go ahead and move that infinity bar back. And if you don't have an infinity bar, go ahead and grab the risers on the back edge of the Reformer and push yourself out and do the same movements but by holding the risers. Here I'm going to take my hands on top of the bar and I'm going to do a little bit of a tricep press and push out as I take little flutter kicks with the legs. So I'm taking micro bends with the elbows and I'm flutter kicking the legs, trying to target the deep lower abdominals here. The low back stays flat and connected to the mat. Now, as I continue those little presses, open the legs, close the legs. Open and close and rest. Beautiful job. Now take an overhand grip. And as I pull the arms down, I'm going to lift the legs straight out in front of me and then pull the knees in as I take that pull with the arms, working our biceps here. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull the arms down as the knees pull in toward the chest. Awesome work. Modify as you need and breathe. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And if you have back issues, just aim your feet up a little higher toward the ceiling. Rest. Next, we're going to move that infinity bar back to the front. And we're going to set up for our final psoas stretches. So left foot on the floor, right foot against the shoulder block, hands on the foot bar, 2 straight arms. Reach the left arm back behind you, get a little twist, and start to circle the arm down and around and back up toward the ceiling, stretching out the shoulders, stretching out the neck. Reach it back, hold it there. Bring both hands on, straighten the left leg, lift up the toes, push it into your splits. Breathing into the calves, deep into your hips right here. Come back up, drop the foot, bend the knee, move it to your forearms, clasp with the hands, tuck your chin, and just melt into the stretch. Other side. So now the right foot is on the floor, left foot against the shoulder block, hands on the foot bar, 2 straight arms. Reach that right arm up and back behind you. Get a little twist, gazing at the fingertips and open up the chest. Then come back up, straighten the right leg, lift up the toes. Oh no, we're going to go back into that twist. Reach it back, circle the arm down and around and up for 3, 2, and 1. Reach it back, hold it there, just breathe. And now straighten the leg, lift the toes, push it back into your splits, and move it to your forearms, clasp at the hands, tuck your chin to the floor, melt into that stretch right here. Beautiful job today. Thank you so much for working out with me. It was so much